What's up guys, XM360 here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the outdoor Christmas laser light projector by the company 1byone. So this is a similar product to those two laser projector lights that I reviewed earlier this year. They're kind of like an alternative to Christmas lights, and you can use them for any party, indoors or outdoors, but it basically projects a bunch of little tiny laser dots onto a surface as large as a house. So this will cost you about $60 on Amazon, and the color of the laser dots that it projects is red and green, which goes very good with Christmas, but like I said, you can use it for anything. I actually just used a bunch of these laser projector lights for my Halloween party, and they're really awesome, especially because you can also mount them inside your house, and you can use them in there, and you can project onto a floor and kind of make like a dance floor effect. But this one is going to be made by the company 1byone, and that is spelled number 1 and then BYONE. So I'll put links down below on where you can buy this for yourself. And one thing I'm liking about this box is that it actually has their brand name and logo 1byone on the box. I see so many Chinese manufacturers making these laser projector lights, and they'll just mass manufacture them and not put brand names on them. So I like that this one does have a brand name. And the first thing I'm pulling out here is the spike. That's what goes into the ground and kind of holds it in place. And that is full aluminum. That is not plastic or rubber or anything like that, so it's not going to bend when you try to plant it in some rough dirt. And then we have some wires right here. I'm just going to pull these aside and pull out what looks to be like the user manual. It does appear to be written in English, at least as far as the cover goes, so that's always a plus. And then underneath that we have a little service card, which probably just has some warranty information. I'm not going to read through all of that right now. And then we have a little piece of paper that has some of their other products that you may be interested in. So that power cable you guys saw in the device, I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but I am going to try to pull out the other stuff in the box first. And this is remote control operated. It uses an IR remote, and I'm a little skeptical on that because those IR remotes can be a little bit finicky and they don't want to always be responsive, so we'll see how well that works. But the device itself is full aluminum, it's full metal, it is not plastic. And I'm just going to quickly read off some of the specifications from their Amazon page. It can cover up to 2,100 square feet from a distance of 25 feet. It has a flashing mode. It can be one color or both colors, and it also has a timer to turn automatically on and off. And it's also rated IP65 for water resistance, and then the power cable is rated IP44. Now this right here is that IR remote, and I just pulled the little plastic tab out of there to make the device work because it already has a battery inside of it. And then there's this yellow sticker on the back here that I tried to peel off, but it kind of left that white sticker residue, so I think I'm just going to leave that on there. So about that power cable, the power input is AC 120 volt 60 Hz, which is just a normal outlet, and this is not battery operated. You will need to use an outlet to power the device, and the power cable length, it looks long in the box, but it's really only 11 feet long, so in reality, that's not going to be long enough for like 99% of you if you plan on putting this outside, especially since the device works best, like I said earlier, around 25 feet away from your house. So you most likely will need to use an extension cord with this. I do want to make you guys aware of that. Now, like I said, this is a solid metal aluminum construction, and it does have some good weight to it. It feels like a really durable product where, say, if I was running through my yard and I accidentally ran into it at night and kind of kicked it over, it wouldn't break on me because both the spike and the laser projector are both metal. And it kind of has like a little glass front on it to protect the area where the laser beams emit from. That way the lenses don't get scratched and all the little dots get distorted. Now, as far as the spike goes, all you have to do is screw that into the bottom of the laser module. That's really simple. And I love that they put their brand name 1byone on the laser module. Like I said earlier, I see so many Chinese companies that make these laser modules and they don't brand them, and it really makes you wonder if they don't have a lot of confidence in their product. Why would they not create a brand name and put their name on it? So I like that they brand this product very well. And this also has like a little adjustable knob, so you can adjust the height of it and it'll stay at the height you want it to. So if you wanted to project it onto a tall house, you could kind of raise it up, or if you wanted to project it down towards the ground, you could do that as well. So their Amazon page says this product can be used between -31 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit, so that should pretty much cover all of you in the United States. Even the places that get higher than 95 degrees are typically not that hot at nighttime, so you should be all set. And it is water resistant too, so you don't need to worry about the weather. I'm going to take this outside now and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I have my laser projector light spiked into the ground, and I've adjusted the height to what I want it at, and then I have that 11-foot power cable running to my garage just barely, so you probably will need an extension cord with this. And you guys probably can't see it right now because of how dark it is, but it is pointed at a house right now, so I will see it projected onto its intended surface. And I'm going to test it out and see if I can turn it on with the remote right now. Okay, so the red and green laser lights are now projecting from it and everything turned on okay. I'm going to turn off my flashlight so you guys can see it a little better. And I'm going to zoom in on the side of the house, which now has hundreds, maybe even thousands of little tiny laser dots projected onto it. And looking at my camera, the camera's not picking up the green color as well as it's showing up in person. This is much brighter than it looks like on the camera, and I do want you guys to realize that because the camera doesn't represent it as well as it should be represented, I feel. Now, one thing you guys might be noticing, and I'm kind of noticing here too, is that the green color looks to be almost kind of faintly flickering a little bit, like the power is fluctuating. I'll look at that later on, but for now I'm going to test out the different modes with my remote here. So the first mode I'm going to look at is the single color mode, and I'm going to set it to just green. So you may have been able to see on the laser module that the red and green come from two separate areas, so you can separate them and do just green or just red like you guys see right here. And I think I've accidentally hit the flashing button too, which is why it's blinking on and off like that. There is a flash mode on here, which I'm kind of messing around with this in the dark right now, so that's why you're seeing me kind of engaging all the modes here, including the multicolor mode. Now, one other option on this remote that I forgot to mention earlier is that you can also dim the color of the lights or make them brighter. So, as you guys can see, I'm kind of dropping down the brightness of each of these colors. You can do it to the specific color, so I can make the green a little bit dimmer, I can make the red a little bit dimmer, but for the best results you're going to want to set them both to their highest brightness, that way they're the most visible. Unless you kind of want to have like a subtle look, you can do that too. And then this is the flashing mode, and you can adjust the speed of the flashing, so you can make it flash quickly or you can make it flash very slowly, and then you can do the flash with just one color or both colors. So this has a lot of different options, and then each option is color specific as well. And one thing I want to note is that this remote also has some buttons for making the dots move around and spin. Now, this device doesn't actually have that feature, so I'm guessing that this is probably a remote that they use for several different laser projectors, and maybe one of the other ones has a moving dot feature, but this one does not have a way to make the dots actually move around, so just kind of ignore those buttons on the remote because they don't actually do anything. So I'm going to go off camera and test this out for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then I'm going to give you guys my review of this product. Okay, so I just finished testing it out, and I like it a lot. I think the laser dots are very bright, and it adds a great effect, and I think it's a very durable and hard to break item. However, I do have one major issue, which I'm demonstrating for you guys right now. Because the remote is IR, and because the device has that metal housing, it's virtually impossible to turn this thing on from the back or the side. You pretty much have to be standing directly in front of the device where the lasers come out in order to turn on the device and actually control it. Now, this is because it appears to be that the little sensor for the IR remote is actually placed underneath the glass on the front of the device, so when you're standing behind it or on the side of it, the remote cannot penetrate that metal housing and you cannot control the device when you're standing behind it. So that's pretty much that. I find that to be a big design flaw in my opinion. I do think they need to put an IR sensor on the back of it if they are going to use an IR remote. And besides that, that issue was pretty much the only issue I had with it. And as you guys can see right here, when you're standing even in front of it, I'm about maybe 20-25 feet away, you have to aim the remote directly at it. You can't aim it to the side at all, otherwise you still won't be able to control the device. So I did have some issues with the reliability of this remote. Pretty much you do have to go up to the device or aim it perfectly at it in order to operate it and change the modes, but besides that, the device itself was very durable and it functioned very well. The issue I had mentioned when I first turned it on about the the green color kind of fluctuating in power and getting a little bit brighter or dimmer on its own. I read the reviews of this product and nobody else had that issue, and even I didn't really have that issue too consistently. It only happened to me like a couple of times, so I wouldn't worry about that. It's probably just maybe a flaw with my one specific item, or maybe it even has something to do with my power supply, the outlet I was plugged into, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. The only really negative thing about this is the unreliability in the remote. It's very bright, it adds a really cool effect to a party or a decoration. I do think they could come down on the price a little bit, maybe like $10 and make it like $45 or $50, but besides that, I do like it. I'd probably give it maybe like an 8, a 7.5, or an 8 out of 10. So I'll put the link down below on where you can purchase this product for yourself. And if you guys have any questions, or if you found this review helpful in any way, leave them in the comments below and hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for more amazing product reviews just like this. And as always guys, thank you for watching from XM360.